Am I looking fat? Fat? Sorry, that's too loud. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was loud. I'm so sorry. Pretty hot and tempting. Gotcha. Hi, everyone. Hey, hey. Hello, hello. Pretty hot and tempting. Gotcha. Hi, everyone. I'm good. How are you? How are you? How's everyone doing? How are you doing, my little stingos? Hi, hi. Thank you for the first sting, Kumiko. Mwah! Thank you. Love you. Thank you for the second sting, Pitchy, and for the third sting, Alex. Thank you guys for being early. I love you. Love you. The daily wishes. All right. Right. Daily wishes. Kumiko, Pitchy, Sunny, Alex Rose. Wait. Yes. Lulu, Cotton, Kirari, Nova, Willow. And thank you for the gifted sub, Lulu. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Mwah, mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just yo. 10 stream streak, Cotton. Good job, good job. Thank you so much. And Nova, 10 stream streak. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the daily wish, Divya. Thank you, thank you. It's gonna be fun. So, my lips are kind of like, how do I explain it? My lips are kind of swollen. In that way that's like, you know, like turn like red and a bit swollen. No, not dry. Never that. But swollen. I have to apply some lip balm because they get a bit swollen. I have allergies. Oh, Jaffa, go back. Jaffa, stop moving. Oh, how I missed you guys. Pop. Cookies, please. You get special saffron cakes, baby. Put ice on it as well. Ooh, I have this cold Red Bull. Let's give this cold Red Bull a kiss for good luck. Silla. Wiggle. How are you guys? How was your day? I'm sorry I was late. I was playing with some of my old friends. Two of my really good friends. Yep. People that I've known for years and years. You've seen both of them. But we played Overwatch for like 3 hours, which is really nice because we used to play Overwatch a lot, you know? I'm glad you have no tornado. I'm so happy. I'm God? I'm God. You're good. I'm God. Wiggle. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy that you are. Howdy, May. Hey, how are you? I had a very good night and now a very good afternoon. Other than that, I haven't slept yet. I'm doing really well. I had fun with my friends. What about you? I had fun with my friends as well. Yeah. 9 monsters. You monster. Why would you have 9 monsters? That's a lot of monsters, by the way. That's not healthy, Nova. I thought we were all being healthy these days. Oh, I don't miss working. I honestly, I did some work too today. I was surprised. Thank you for the daily wish, Ali. And thank you for the daily wish, Yuki. I'm very surprised that I was able to get some work done today. I recorded the voice pack for the self-care routine. I expanded upon it and I made it longer and more interactive, I guess, in a way, and more entertaining for sure. But this time around, I also added like 2 versions of it. So I made like a more friendly, casual, intimate version and a more I guess, flirty version. Yeah. I was channeling my inner Luke Herson for the second one. You know, a little bit of that. And I can't wait to put it out for you guys because it's gonna be for free as a gift from me to you. It's a trial, so like, you guys I'm only giving it to you guys in the Discord. Okay, so I'll make sure to release it there. I just need to do the editing for it, and that's it. It was fun recording it. Like, I'm learning more, so this is like my first time. I will improve better. If you guys have notes and stuff, I would really appreciate it because it's gonna help me be better at making more. I've been having like such peaceful times lately, and I'm very grateful for that. There's a Discord. Oh yes, there is, May. Guys, do the thing. Exactly, Lulu. Do the thing. Interestingly enough, I don't feel so horrible about being shadow banned. I'm not shadow banned on YouTube, thank God. It turns out that I'm only shadow banned on TikTok. Yeah. Please rest, Kirari. Rest well. I will miss you so much, but please have your rest. Hi, baby. Hi, honey. Sapun. I really, guys, if you guys are staying up late just to watch me, please don't. Just go to sleep, okay? I'll be here tomorrow as well, I think. We're hanging out tomorrow on the Discord. So if you are staying up, please go rest, okay? I promise you. You can leave the lurk thing on. Don't worry about me. And go to sleep, okay? I missed you more, Nova. I missed you guys a lot. Did I not stream yesterday? Oh, I didn't. I streamed for like an hour only, right? Yeah, I was going through it last night, but I'm so much better today. I was beating myself up over like a lot of things that I couldn't finish fast enough. Not being able to find the note or the key when I was singing. I don't know what's going on. Like, my voice has changed since I'm talking about in it. My voice has changed since the septoplasty. And I kind of got lost since, like, I don't know, like, there's like some things that I'm trying to figure out. I managed to call my music academy and see if I can get lessons. Of course, they're like $200 or whatever. I'm so glad though. My dad is offering to pay for my music lessons, so I'm happy. And we got our paychecks like really soon this month because it's Eid. So I'm gonna have to be stressed because I'm gonna be using like an early paycheck, like 15 days before we usually get our paycheck. So like getting your paycheck mid-month for the next end of the month. Like, so I'm gonna be like without a paycheck for 45 days. So I have to make sure that I use my money like wisely, whichever money is left from it. Hi Nightmare, you're not late. I'm the one who's late. Please don't stress yourself. But if my dad manages to, like, he has like he's getting a big reward this month. So he's gonna like let me borrow like some money from him for my music lessons. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm very happy to take my music lessons because I promised someone that we will doing a cover together, and that's like what I'm most excited for. Like, genuinely, like, I saw like how this person like poured their heart into it, you know, like they really poured their heart into like making the cover and arranging the notes and showing me like how to do the harmonizing stuff, and like they sat with me and like showed me everything, and I'm like so grateful. I want to make sure that I do good enough so I can make them proud as well, and make sure this cover goes really well. Hey, Dougie. Motherfucker, there's supposed to be snow in the next hour. Are you gonna be okay? Thank you. I'm positive. I'm positive. I just need the right guidance because I feel like I just lost my way a little bit. But if I focus and lock in a little bit and this March, should be able to do my music lessons, and everything should be okay. Yeah. I'm very hopeful. I beat myself up a lot. Ooh. Ooh. Hello. Ooh. Though, guys, if things get a bit rough for me this month, I might start our donathon mid-April if things get rough. Because it's our anniversary in May, and I'll make sure that the donathon runs for a long time. If we can do that. If we don't, we don't have to do that. I'm thinking of like what more can I offer. There's a lot of donor goals that we're already working on right now, which I'm already proud of. You need a job? What? Hey, Sunny. It just got hot. It really did. You know, it really did. I huge you a tip. Then drink lukewarm water instead of too warm or too cold, honey. It helps with soothing the voice and making vocals better and stronger. I will do that. Yeah, I will do that. Usually I would drink ginger, honey, and lemon. But since my surgery, my throat has felt more tighter, and I'm seeing the doctor on Monday as well, so he can check on my throat as well. Nova doesn't have a stinger yet. That's weird. Isn't Nova subbed? It's only for subs, by the way. Yeah. Hey, Candace Fox. Hello. Hey. Guys, in honor of Cotton, we're playing Silent Hill F tonight, and we're getting the Fox marriage ending. Kumiko! Thank you for the gifted sub. That's so cute. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kumiko. That's adorable. Look at you guys gifting each other some subs. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, okay, Willow. I see you. What a lovely community we have, huh? This is why I'm so protective of you guys, and I want the best for you. I also like I was thinking of like doing more community stuff. If you guys have stuff in mind, let me know in the Jin chat. I would love to know if you guys have more things in mind that we can do together. And we're doing tomorrow we're doing like sort of a movie night, so we'll watch a couple of movies, and yeah, I think we'll watch a couple of movies. Yeah, I'm in the mood of watching not realistic, how do I say, like really good romance movies and not rom-coms. I don't like rom-coms. Do y'all do game nights? Yes, we do. I think, right? I think we do, yeah? The Foxy Maiden watches Ginny get the Foxy wedding? Yes. On the phone, if you see something that says 3+, click on it and scroll inside until you... Yeah. We did Jackbox. Yeah, we did Jackbox. We did. If we get big enough, we should get like a Minecraft server. Even though I don't like Minecraft and I don't play Minecraft, I'd love to play with you guys. I don't mind. Or Hytale. I think Hytale's cute as well. I think Minecraft is accessible for everyone almost. So maybe that, if we can. We see. We can put it as a donor goal. We can put it as a goal. If you guys have ideas for goals and stuff that we can do, then yeah, let's do it. I'm trying to work extra hard to get through the goals, and I have to say, we are only like what, a few goals remaining. Let me see. We have 2 ASMR streams and a Fortnite stream to do. We are starting our Silent Hill. We're already starting our Silent Hill. What do you call it? Marathon. We built our flower logo. We have to start the Fatal Frame marathon. 2 ASMR streams. Make a dessert. Reading the Shrek script in ASMR. And I think the hardest one is brushing Honey's fur. That's going to be a little bit hard, but we'll try our best. Since she's like, you know, taking medicines right now. It will be a little bit hard. Bye, Pitchy. Stay safe, stay well. Namola pawe mo tom tom hewe namo ipa poya nigamore itanji namasakshiya boya anado achiranaya high heel stockings. Ryuga, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. My name is Zayan. We are hanging out before we play Silent Hill F. And eating some more genies. We're probably gonna eat a fox genie soon. Or get married to one. What'd you guys do? What'd you guys play? Did you guys have a nice stream? How was your stream? Tell us all about it. Oh. Oh, another him to get here. Ooh. Did you guys play together? Raft seems like fun, but did you play solo or did you play with someone? I've always watched people play Raft. I've never played it myself. I like the survival aspect of these games though. Love survival games. It is, yeah. I've seen some people play it. Oh, babe. Well, then, that's nice. That's fun. That's fun. That is fun indeed. If you need to raid one, please don't worry about it. Go rest. Please go rest. I will take care of your community and cherish them very, very lovingly so. Right, everyone? I love Wrath. I just recently got it. I'm pretty sure it's like a 4-player game or something. Wrath or Raft? Ooh. Why am I doing that face? Ooh. What? Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Eat well, Ryuga, and again, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you have a nice meal. Raft. Yes, trust us. Everyone will be catered for and taken care of. No, don't worry. I always whip my community into shape every day. I have a tight whip that I whip them with every day. Whoosh. Every day, all day. They fall in line pretty quick. They're very nice. I promise you, they're all nice. They're all nice. What would you guys like to see? What would you guys like to see me do? I want to know, like, you all probably have like Oshis, right? If you guys have corpo Oshis, what are things that you guys like to like I would say get from them, or perhaps like, how do I say, or like expect from them? I'm trying to learn by like not asking other VTubers, because I noticed that other VTubers usually will give you advice and they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. But it's usually people that watch VTubers who know what they like, you know? And I'm not gonna necessarily do exactly like what is suggested, but it's like I want to learn what other things I can do as a VTuber, you know? Like like, okay, so like, what are things that you like? If you have other like, I mean, I bet you guys. I mean, you guys only met me like a few months ago. Um, cooking streams, right? Yeah. I do hand cams often, right? We've done like a few. I am in the process of getting head pats. It's just a bit costly. Um, mm. I watch Kayo's cooking streams. I have so much fun. They're so soothing for me. Ooh, boyfriend girlfriend applications are cute. I wanted to do a nanny applications for Jafar. Like, who's gonna take care of Jafar? You know. Handcam is nice, yeah. Other than handcam, I actually really like had such a good time when we were doing what do you call it? The Lego building. So much fun. That was like highlight of my month. It was so much fun. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Also, where's my media? Okay. I want to do a cooking stream. I'm gonna do a dessert making stream where I make an Arabian dessert. We also have a portable like a kettle, I guess what do you call it? A small one. We could do a lot of things with it, honestly. Yeah. Kayo's cooking streams are really fun. When I'm at work, I always watch them because like when he's live, I'm usually at work. And of course, do you guys have something in mind to rate? If you guys have something in mind, we can do like a preset maybe, and you guys can share it with me. Kokoro is a game where we can play on stream with chat. All you gotta do is link your Twitch with it, and you're the host. Chat can join the game by doing. Oh, that sounds cute. Can you put it in game suggestions so that I don't lose it? That sounds really cute. Oh, we can look at fan arts. I mean, we have a few, right? But we don't have enough to go through it. Oh yeah, he does stream a bit late. Yeah, he does stream late. Hi Kiran, how are you? Hey. Any recommendations you guys have? We have a there is a suggestions forum. I'm pretty sure in the Discord server. I'll link it for you guys. Wait, do we? I swear to God we do. Where did I put it? Is it gone? Game suggestions. There it is. Here. Goodbye, Cotton. Take it easy. Mada. Do. Ah. We gotta think. Oh, we can do the what do you call it? Heart rate monitor stream. Heart rate monitor. I got my heart rate monitor that Kumiko got us. It arrived. I have a heart rate monitor now. So we can do that. We can also play a horror game during it. Yes! Oh my god. And then you guys send me a picture of Leon.
Look at this very good boy.
Oh! What are we talking about? Hey, Ink. Hi. Eye tracking would be fun as well. I need to ask Manai how he does eye tracking. Sorry. I got the heart monitor. Would be cool to play a horror game on that with the heart monitor. You only stream when I'm working, so Wear Quill Ink. Um. Ooh. A streamer opened a maid cafe in stream. What? How, wait, what's that? Nova, what are you talking about? Hi, Elaine. Hello, hello. How are you? What is that? A maid cafe? Trouble, trouble, trouble. I'm good, Elaine. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well and sweet and nice. It's an event where the streamer did a maid cafe stream. Huh? Like, what does that mean? Is it like where, like, is that like IRL? It was a real fun. Like there was goals, voice. Oh, oh, that's so fun. Oh, you just give me nice ideas. I need to write this down. Wait, so like basically become a maid, a maid? Basically, I become a maid. Ooh, that would eat with a maid outfit, but our maid outfit costs like $1,500. That would eat with a maid outfit. I'm literally like, I have a goal of getting a maid outfit. You work for an 18 plus maid cafe? That sounds cool though. Yes, and hear your chat already around. Oh my god, that's so cute. Just dance stream. Won't I need like VR? I don't have VR. I'd love to though. I love dancing. That sounds like a good time. I would be a good maid in a maid cafe. Trouble, trouble, trouble. No, you don't have to. Just show us the Just Dance with your avatar in the corner and let us watch you struggle. His channel, are you a good boy? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! $5,000 sub donor goal. On no way, $5,000. I'm doing that only by $5,000. I'm not doing that for any less. I'm not doing that for any less. Oh my god. Are you crazy? I don't even like say yes to my mother when she tells me get me something. I just be quiet and like get her something and go. Oh my god. Literally only $5,000 will probably like get me to say, of course, yes, I'll do that. I won't even say master. Oh my god. With my ego? With my pride? With my arrogance? No way. I mean, you know what? You gave me an idea. You gave me an idea. You just gave me an idea. The higher the price, the more willing I am, I guess. You gave me an idea. The higher the goal, the more willing I will be. Do you love her? Do you love me? Yep. I'm saying. And it's in the thousands. I'm not gonna like... Fucking hell, Nova. Nova, you're gonna have to send me more. I need more ideas. Like you really you have that fountain of ideas, don't you? Ooh, you should be someone's manager. See, this is why I need to ask you guys instead of asking other VTubers, because other VTubers are gonna tell me like really generic answers. Most of the money I make in the maid cafe is from giving head pats and praise. Oh, cute. I do that for $200. I'm damn cheap. I cannot. My ego is way too big. Bigger than the sun. Way too big, like gigantic ego. You definitely should become a manager, like content manager at least. Like you know what you're saying. I'm like a supervisor, honey geyser. Ring ring no. Like, wow, like so many nice ideas. Like, I'm imagining it now. Is everyone like mostly like Zion, what about roleplay? I love roleplay. I love roleplay. I will roleplay the house down. I love roleplay. Ooh. What do I know about roleplay? What do I know about roleplay? Oh, I've been roleplaying for years. Yeah. Ugh, love roleplaying. And we can do community night, Gardic phone, roleplays. Ooh, that's fun. Ooh, bitch, you have nice ideas. Your brain. Let me lick your brain. Let me have a lick of that brain. Modern chocolate. Kiss or what? D&D was as in Dead by Daylight, or what's D&D? What is then D&D? Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, that'd be so cool. I actually know someone who's a DM. Like, I know a VTuber who's a DM. I could ask him to DM for us, maybe. He's a really good DM. He's like I could ask him to DM for us. You guys are gonna have to pay him money or something for DMing for us. ASMR roleplay script made by subs. See, I tried one time to do an ASMR. Basically, hey Bridget, how are you? Hi. Our first ASMR was an ASMR where like it was a new thing, so I think people didn't understand it. But it was like you make a choice by bits, basically. Like you know how like some games where like you make choices and depending on your choices the outcome is changed. I had like this whole thing planned for a stream. And then like with bits you can alter the choices basically, which was cool. It was a cool idea. Ray, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome in. Hello. How are you? What is your wish? But there's a lot of ideas. I love these ideas that you guys are throwing at me right now. But please, guys, someone write them down because I don't know where to write them down. Please. Takume. D&D night with make a thing in Discord to give you ideas. Okay. Because these are Dono goals ideas, okay? For our new Dono goal that's gonna happen in April probably. So like we achieve these goals and we do these things, okay? Which would be so much fun. I want them to be as fun as possible for all of us. With this Donathon, by the way, if we do like reach goals and stuff, I'll be able to get art for like, I'll be able to get the maid outfit. I'll be able to get the assets. I'll be able to get, merch. I really want to get a body pillow. I don't know. Can you see it or can you not see it? Please tell me you can see it. You can see a body pillow, can't you? You can see a body pillow, can't you? Look at this. I always look at this and I'm like, a body pillow with how sculpted this is. Like, yes. Right? Yes. Like, this is sculpted. And I think about it a lot. And I'm like, a body pillow would look so good like this, you know? I could literally get a body pillow of my model itself because I'm a work of art. This is a work of art. It does not even need like art, you know? Like this is a work of art on its own. That I could like, literally like, it's so good. Like props to my VTuber mama. Like, cause like, look how beautiful this is. Have you seen anything more prettier? Haven't you seen anything more fat? Pretty hot and tempting. So cute. I just love, like, I always look at like the model. And I'm like, oh, he's so fine. Fine. I'd give my all. Literally, I'd give my all. I'd give my all. The way I love myself is like, give me that. Zayon, guess what? What's up? Zayon, what do you think about lore stream? The thing with lore stream is I'm writing a book about lore. It's in our sub goals. I think it's like 300 subs or something. I'm genuinely writing a book. I'm in some chapters in right now. I want to release a book first. I want to do comics. It's St. Patrick's Day and you're not wearing green. Oh my god. I forgot. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Let's see if I can find an asset for St. Patrick's Day. Oh, I'm being pinched. Guys, pinch my nipple. We can do an online family. Oh, so smart. So smart. So smart. I would love to go in one of those expos. I'd love to go on one of those expos. What else did we what else did we pick? Did we say? D&D night, online fan meeting. I'm on speaker. Be careful, Divya. Be careful. Let's dance. Maid Cafe. Maid Cafe. Gartic phone. Kokuro. Online fan meeting. D&D. What else? Role-playing voice acting. What role-playing voice acting? Oh yeah. On demand? Oh my god. On demand. On demand. I already laser my body. I have a do you guys want to watch me laser my arms one day? I have a laser machine at home. I'm pretty hairy as an Arab man. Problem is every time I have to shave, I get like I have really sensitive skin. Right now, there's less hair coming, so I should be able to do it again probably in half a month. So yeah, probably by the time, yeah. Should be fun, yeah. I can do it. Can I do my legs also? Probably. We can do a laser stream, yep. Okay. We can. Karaoke when? I did 2 karaoke streams already, but we should do another one soon. This time, however, we'll do one where we'll do a karaoke this time where you guys pick the songs and I will do my best to see if I can do them, and I will learn them with my vocal coach. Because I can afford vocal lessons again. Thanks to my father. Yay, we love our father. My father. We love Jin Daddy. Oh, I meant Jin Father. Jin Daddy. Crazy. Oh, do you guys want to do a talent show? I'd love to do a VTuber talent show one time, but like, I don't know. VTubers are so hard to like organize. Talent show would be so cute. Okay, talent show. Hey, Fawn. Are you feeling fat tonight? Pretty hot and tempting. Hi, Fawn. How are you? You drawing pictures on our demands? I can't draw for shit, but I'll do my best. You guys decide on like the stuff, I guess. PHAT. Gotcha. Gotcha. You can also add karaoke with chat in Discord. Yep. Karaoke Discord night. Yep. You guys can get your drinks if you drink. And if you don't drink, you get a Red Bull, you know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What else? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 goals already. We can have penalties as well. Ooh. Ooh, smart. Smart. Penalties. Take your time, sweetie. Enjoy your lurk, my love. Enjoy your lurk. What else? I mean, these are really good starts. We can start like, oh yes, hot wing challenge. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Please, 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 please. You guys, that's so smart. Yes, yes, please, hot wings. Okay. Ooh, hot wings challenge. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Good job, good job, good job. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. What else? Yes, do not drink. Stay away from dairy if you're gonna sing. Yeah, stay away from dairy and caffeine. Don't be like me. Proceeds to drink coffee right before having to sing. Why don't you shake my baby? Heart. Oh my god.
What color should me IS the today? Tipe S1 for hot pink angry, type 2 for grey with star set. Type 3 for green with a diamond in it rich of mood. Type 4 for alternative ali masukkan cool down unsur.
Shock collar? Dazzy. The accent is so wrong. Chat, what color should my eyes be today? Type 1 for hot pink. Bye. Shock collar. You know that may be hard to find where I'm from, but definitely we'll see. See if I can get it. I'm not scared. Shock collar stream, and then we can do the hot wings with heart monitor. Oh, handcuff cooking. That's burns the whole house down. Handcuff cooking is crazy. Period simulator. Okay, yeah, that I will do. I love women, and I will take on the pain for you guys. I deserve to period simulator. Yeah, I'll try. I'm not scared of pain. Shit, I'll scream and shout, but like I'm not scared of pain. It will give me abs. It will give me abs. More defined abs. Hi, Naira. What the hell is this? There's a weird fly here, and I'm scared. Hi, sister. That's my sister, guys. My model sibling. Thank you for the shout out. Boignancy. You mean male preg? Mpreg? Mpreg. Mpreg. You can read. Oh, that's so smart. Oh, reading story. Oh, so good. But the shock collar stream. What would we be doing? I can't do that. I will get like. I'm in an Arabian country in an Arab household. We have to be a little bit realistic. That would be near impossible. Yeah. I do have a walk pad. What can we do with a walk pad? Yeah, that's fine. It's okay, Kira. For the shock collar, we can do a bit one more bits higher. The shock. Oh my god, are you trying to kill me? Trying to kill me. Oh my god, furry Zayan. We get a furry art of Zayan, which I will regret. I'm gonna put that at like $8,000 because it's something I don't want to do. Baby. As a dragon, ooh. A walk pad is kind of like a treadmill. It's only like the bottom part of a treadmill, kind of. It doesn't have like rails and stuff, you know? Yeah. That's smart. Yeah, we can do a quiz. Yeah. Oh, wait, I have an idea. How about you guys work together on making a quiz? Or picking a quiz? You guys can choose quizzes. The whole stream. Everyone gets a choice of a quiz kind of thing. Yeah? I'm excited about the hot wings, honestly. Whoa, can't believe you're giving out steppies to it for free. To the walk bad. Oh, I love Dazzy. And we can do the wheel punishment every time you lie. Oh. Oh, yeah, I really want to do a scorpion, like, what do you call it, Cotton? I showed you before, right, from Terraform Mars? Like, having scorpion features and, like, bug eyes and stuff, like, kind of like, you know, like, as if you're transforming into a scorpion, but, like, not fully scorpion, just like, Kinomimi, is that it? Yeah? Huh? Wait, what are you guys talking about? I'm talking about in the anime Terraform Mars. Trying weird viral food. Ooh, I have an idea. We can try foreign snacks. Viral foods will be a bit hard to find where I'm from. Especially with the war. Ain't no way. Oh, ain't no way things are coming here. Yeah. We gotta rethink that one. Just the two of us. Wait, I'm gonna move here a bit. Why can't I move myself? Oh. Okay, I move here. Yeah. Nice. An origami. Oh, an origami stream. You know, I've always wanted to learn how to make origamis. I do have a walk pad. I could probably try to get a VR somehow. A VR with a walk pad would be crazy. I see the vision. Oh wait, I forgot to pin the message for guys, we're still looking for a Discord mod app, Discord mods and Twitch mods. Do remember. I'd love to do a mukbang. Yes, I agree. I love mukbangs. But how will you guys see what I'm eating? Oh my god, painting stream with Uncle. I literally have I have a canvas and painting set, by the way. I have it. I have a whole painting set and a canvas and everything. Yeah. So you can do that, yeah. We can do that. Okay, let's see. Bob Ross style painting. I have a lot of we can do a lot of ASMR for sure. Pretty hot and tempting. Gotcha. I mean, with ASMR, we do it like sometimes, right? So, and we already have 2 ASMRs queued up. Unless it's like ASMR that's like special, I guess. Yeah, we'll do a food cam for mukbang, yeah. I did kind of a mini mukbang before when Resident Evil came out, but I want to do a proper mukbang. Maybe Korean food? We can order Korean food. Something like that. We're doing hot wings, so that's already mukbang as well. Collab with someone and play a game where, for example, you need to look for a painting and need to describe the painting while the other person has to draw it. Okay, I see what you're saying. I feel like it could be something even better, but what is it? Date night. Okay, date night we can do date night. Date night, yep, we can do date night. Oh, I'm an awesome person in dates. You guys would love going out on a date with me. You would love it. Who's that girl? Tell me, who's that girl? Date night, you guys would love. Date night with my stingers. You guys would love it. What else? Besides date night, I know you guys have more ideas. Hit me with something crazy. Ooh, 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 ooh. The viewer's describing an image / meme. Zion has to draw without knowing what it is. That will work actually, because I don't know a lot of memes. I actually don't know a lot of memes. So like we'd have to make categories for it, right? So like, is it from a TV show? Is it like you know what's charades? I guess charades, kind of like that, right? We'll have to think about that, yeah. Ooh. Ooh, what just happened? Anyway. Thank you, Gringo. You guys have such good manners. Thank you so much. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. 이렇게 말이 맞추는 거야. Man, don't do it that. You bring a guest if they don't mind. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. I had a game show. Ooh. Hey, Millie. Hey, Mill Maple. How are you? Hope you're doing good. That's actually a good idea. Someone did a sleeping stream for 6 days straight. See, that will be very, very hard for me because I live with my mom alone. So a lot of times I will have to be seen by my mom. My mom will have to like be like, "Where are you? I need to see the cats." So that's why subathons are really hard for me to do. Subathons are hard for me to do. Yeah. But dotathons are easier to do. Because I can be live for like 12 plus hours, I don't mind. Yeah. How about we do a cooking stream where we make a pizza and you guys pick the toppings? Like another cooking stream. That'd be crazy, right? I'd have to get a lot of toppings. Oh my god, kiwi toppings. Oh. Apple. Oh! I'll never forget someone made apple pizza for me once. Play Dark Souls. Pineapple IAS fire. Pineapple I don't mind. But apples, oh my god. Exactly. Custom pizza. We do have that as a sub goal, but I mean, if we cook it ourselves, basically. If I cook it and I bring toppings from like Timbuktu or whatever. We already did a confession stream. We could do confessions again? A lot of you missed confessions, didn't you? We did confessions like almost a month ago, I think. We did. We already did that. Yeah, we can do it again. We can do it again. You could make a sweet pizza. Oh, we could do confessions again. You guys were wild last time, so I wonder what kind of confessions we'll get this time. Oh, okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. Confessions. Pizza cooking live with special topics. There's so much stuff. Sorry. Hey, Swan. How are you? Hello. Funny running into you here. Hello, sir. I'm the one who added you to their Hear Me Out cake. Oh, hey. Hey. Oh, hey. Oh, my God. Hey. Oh, my God. Do you know of my do you know of my, how do you know of my existence? I brought the friend as proof. I can't believe this. Oh, guys, we have an ad break. I'm so sorry, but we have an ad break. We have to go on ad break for 3 minutes. I hope you don't hate me, please. 3-minute ad break, and then we get 1 hour. We have 1 hour left. 1 more hour to... You're literally sub 2. Oh my god. Crazy. You did that. You really did that. I had no doubts. I had no doubts you'd prove me wrong. Be right back, guys. There's an ad. If you don't have a sub, I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely so sorry if you don't have a sub. Quan. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Hi. Thanks for outing me, Swan. It's happy birthday, Rose. Happy birthday. Hope you're having a lovely birthday. And it's St. Patrick's Day as well. Would you look at that? No. You guys should gift me Skeb art. Go on Skeb. There's there's a lot of really really like cheap artists that you can get skebs from. Go buy me skeb art. It's personally like basically like it's don't go for the expensive ones. Help artists build their portfolio. There's a lot of artists that are new in skeb and they're trying to build their portfolio, so they sell like art for like $20, $30, $40, like, you know. We had that as a goal, but we never did it. The fanfictions on stream, yeah. PO unboxing from subs. I'd love to do PO unboxing, but that is complicated. You cannot deliver to my country now. I'm in a war zone. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Thanks to fucking Iran. We can do fanfic reading. We haven't done that before, but that is a follower goal, so I should do it anyway. Go on Skeb, you guys, and find like really like new artists that are trying to start and let them practice on me. Shit. You guys can get your Zion art the way you want it, and it's only $20, $30. Right? Look at that. You win, I win. Stay safe. I'm being safe. We're really safe. Thank God. I mean, we have amazing defenses. Yeah. Yeah, like I actually don't mind if you guys like gift me art. Like I'll be very happy about it. I'm like, oh my God. Cause I usually am not even like sure what's the art that I want to get when I get art. Like I'm like, what do we even like want to get? Like I know I want to get art, but like I don't know what art I want to get. What am I doing? What pose? Like what's the vibe? You know? I need to draw you again. Yes, you do. Crazy thing, by the way. Crazy thing. I already have like what 3 arts on the way. I think 3. And oh, did I tell you that we're getting a new schedule and we're getting because the schedule that we have is one that I made on my own in Canva. But we have a new schedule coming and what do you call it? A gaming overlay. Very excited about that. And it's someone who I've really wanted to work with for a long time. Finally got the chance to do that. Yes. Kavi is making them, and she is also going to work on a project that I'm trying to do where I can bring guests over and stuff. I first want to secure at least 10 guests to start it off with. If I can secure 10 guests and start it off with, then I will launch the project. If not, I won't launch the project. Yeah. But it's a nice project. I've been wanting to do it for a while. And I have a lot of people in mind. Like a lot of people that are like, they have so much great insight that I feel like people don't get to hear about them, you know? If only I can get like more subs on YouTube first. If I can get like 1,000 subs on YouTube, like I need to get my channel on YouTube like to like rise a little bit. So once we get that up a little bit, yeah. Once I pour out some more videos there. Now that we finished the ad break, let me add I'll add it in the Jin's Den, and it's a temporary name for now, but it will be new dono goals, okay? Ideas. New dono ideas, I'll say. Okay. New dono ideas. New dono ideas. Oh my God. It's in the Jin under chat, right under chat. You'll see it right there. But we will hop in to Silent Hill F. And let me tell you this, Silent Hill F is a lot about women, okay? And it's gonna talk a lot about arranged marriages, a topic that A lot of Asian cultures, South Asian, West Asian, East Asian, um, all types of Asians. I'll honestly go through this, like specifically, I will say. Um, Arranged marriages, family expectations, constricting responsibilities, a lot of stuff. So we are gonna explore that in Silent Hill F. Please go sleep well, Nova, and I love you more. Thank you so much for the great ideas. Thank you for hanging out. I know it's late for you. I hope I gave you ample amount of entertainment before you left. Let me launch the game. Kitten Whiskers. Sleep well, Nova. Sleep well. Love you, love you. Ooh. Okay. Now, Silent Hill F is a horror game, and I will pretend like I've never played it with you guys, okay? Since I played it completely, and I know what happens in the endings, I'll be playing it with you guys as if I don't know what's going on. It is such a great game, Kumiko. It talks a lot about the struggle of being a girl, and the struggle of being a girl in the 80s in Japan, and the struggle of being a girl set off for arranged marriage, and a lot of nice stuff. It's very relatable, I will say. I've seen things like that happen in front of me, so it was like, whoa, like I know people like this, you know? Very, 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 very nice game. Very nice game, for sure, for sure. It's really good. I have played it 3 times on stream before. And I had so much fun. I genuinely had, I think this is one of my favorite Silent Hill games ever. Because it's more relatable than the other ones. For me, at least. Because it's a culture that I can see similarities that exist in my culture and in cultures around me, I would say. Whereas other Silent Hills, it kind of felt detached from it. It felt like watching a Hollywood thing, you know. So I really found this one to be one of my favorites for sure. It also felt way too realistic, with how the dynamics of the friendships are. It definitely felt like a lot of realistic stuff were happening. Very interesting game. And the music in it, ooh, don't get me started. Sorry. I have had too many Red Bulls. Kokoro yoni. Oh my god, vocal stems. Sawaya Anata. There we go. Do I try using our new controller that Kumiko got us? Or do I keep using mouse and keyboard? Oh no, this is spoilers. You can't see that. Bang. So this is the ending that I didn't get. The fox wets its tail. A hell of your own choosing. Nothing else matters now. Purified the sacred sword or didn't obtain it. Don't take the red capsules. I feel like I want to start a fresh new game, you know? You can't do Lost in the Fog? Bung bung. Anata. Is all good for you guys on stream? Is it all looking good? I don't know, honestly, because I'm scared of getting the bad ending. That's what I'm scared of. Like, you can see here that I've got 3 endings. Have nice food, have nice food. I think this is the 4th ending that I'm trying to get. Shall we do Lost in the Fog, which is the hardest difficulty? Sure. I wish I pre-purchased the game. I would have gotten that other outfit, but I didn't. Hinako! Let's get the worst ending possible.
ねえねえ、知ってる？女の人はお嫁さんになるのが仕事なんだって。
仕事じゃないよ。ひな子はお嫁さんになりたくないの？
Oh wait, the dialogue is different.
でもお父さんに言われるとなりたくなくなる。
I don't think that's what she talked about last
それ
time.
と同じだね。
やれって言われるとやる気が
Damn.
す
So the game changes, by the way, every time you play it. It's different every time you play it.
お姉ちゃん。
The dialogues change every time you play the
何か
game.
いいことでもあった？
Files are added, like new files are added, stuff like that. Welcome back,
私も
Sunny.
思い出してた。お姉ちゃんって小さい頃からずっとお姉ちゃんだった。
Is the audio good for you guys, or is it too low? Ooh, that beautiful audio. Beautiful music.
これお姉ちゃんにあげる。綺麗だわ。
Audio is good?
ありが
Great.
とう。
My favorite song. They put heroin and cocaine in this. I was covering it with my head. There's something very beautifully haunting about this place, you know? Like, there's something like comforting as well about it. I don't know. I would live someplace like this if I could. She's basically set off to like an arranged marriage. Yeah, I agree. Exactly that feeling, the eerie comfort feeling.
それにしても あのひな子がね。
あいつは本当に高校娘だ。何しろおかげで借金は全て返せる。二度と金に困らずに済むぞ。
お父さんやめてくださいよ。ひな子に聞こえますよ。
You're lagging slightly. Try turning down the quality a little bit. I will attempt to use the controller.
あってたまるかそんなこと。
I've never used controller on this game, so I'd like to see how it is. Ooh. Look at that Bob. What's your name, B.O.B.? So they're calling you Bob. I'm using the controller that Kumiko got me. How do you fight? Okay. Entry to the mountain
土
prohibited.
砂崩れで通れない。昔はここ登ったな。
あなた I wonder why that happens, by the way. It could be that I'm connected to someplace in Europe. Could it be that? So usually when you finish the game in New Game Plus for I think a few times or first time, the first house is already unlocked for you, where you can get supplies from it, which is really helpful. So where is the house? I know it's not here. Yeah,
拝んでおこう。
remember you guys, Kumiko was not able to watch because of the data, but when she turned down her player to like really low, she was able to watch drinking at this time of day, question mark? A woman is only complete when she's loved. Featuring the latest for young women, so pure, they even make flowers blush. You know, stuff like this existed where I live as well in the early 2000s. Yep. But funny thing is, you'd think that because we're in Arab society, we wouldn't have women's rights. But in my country specifically, women are actually like, it's not even like rights, it's like they have more privileges than men in my country, which is great because it's deserved. I feel like personally, that should be the norm because of the things that women have to go through on a daily basis, monthly basis, a yearly basis, and even in their like lifetime. You know, it should be very normal to even religiously. Yes, exactly. So that is why in where I come from, women are treated differently than men because women are more deserving of better treatment. Indeed. Ooh. So funny thing is, this is a random house, right? Like in the neighborhood. But guess what it says? Isn't that cute? This is Kumiko's room, actually. He always told me play house like a good girl should. Now, who would tell that? This is Sakoko's, but it's too cute for me. This is not even like hers, it's her friend's. And this is a random house, it's not even her house, so. A woman's magazine. My father isn't fond of seeing those around. Right. This ain't even your house, girl. So why are you worried? Exactly. Why is it her room if this is another house, right? Did we find something? I need a key. Where's the key? There it is. Used balcony key. A boy's diary. A boy. I'm gonna be a treasure hunter. I'll make sure of it. And then I'm gonna become a millionaire by finding treasure all around the world. Kumiko, oh sorry, Hinako. Oh my god, I've been saying Kumiko by the way, and it's Hinako. Crazy. That's what you said, it's your room? Excuse me. And don't forget that they have to learn how to escape dangerous traps too. I was playing with the girl who lives next door when mom got mad at me. She said, "What if you leave a scar on her face? Then nobody will marry her." I'm pretty sure they were talking about Hinako here. What's that all about? I think the girl would be a really good treasure hunter though. She always finds the hidden treasures when we play treasure hide and seek. I want to become a treasure hunter with her someday. I think this boy was talking about Hinako. Treasure hunter game note. You found this place too, huh? You're getting hotter. You gotta use that noggin of yours. Let the thrill of the hunt keep your spirits high. Sure. I'll try my best. Yeah, I don't know why I said that, you guys. Oh, that's kind of scary. Like, that's kind of scary. Why is there, like, a doll, like, in the middle of the room? Like... You're really good at this. Not any bozo could find this one. Too bad this isn't the treasure. But points for trying. You were so close. But that's how they thought back then. Especially in Japan, there's something about scarring a lady's face. Kaboom! You got blown into smithereens by my doo-doo bomb and died. Anyone with half a brain would know this would be a trap because it's so obvious, you know. Hey Kyle, thank you so much for the daily wish. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a lovely day, my love. Yes, those little particles are dust indeed. Indeed they are. It's quite dusty in here, isn't it? Yeah, you got stabbed by my doodle spear and died. It's another tramp. Arare. Arare. Ara. Arare. I think that's the treasure. We found it. 2 chocolates and a few arares. Arare. Arare. Anata. Look at the date. It's the 10th of what? We don't know. It's the 10th though. It's the 10th of something. Oh, that's the map. Okay, that's the map. Enjoy your game, Kyle. What's the time? 2:15. How is it 2:15? 2:15 what? I mean, that's a beautiful weather for 2:15, honestly. Strange, there's no one around. Chizuroya is the grocery shop in the game, which is really interesting because they all have a lot of memories there. Hinako strongly has a tie to that place. Ooh. He's blocking the road. Me. Ooh. It's a dead boat. By the way, I think her name means bird, free bird, Hinako. I think. I could be wrong, but I remember. I remember that. What that is her name's meaning. I think. Have a nice lurk, Owly. I think this part is interesting. There's a dialogue here that happens, but it changes every time. I wonder what's gonna say this time.
でもあの子、岩井さんちの息子さんと付き合ってたんじゃなかったの？まあ、最後は心よりお金よね。 噂をすればなんとやらだよ。
Gossip. Yes, please. Please, Cotton, go ahead. I overanalyzed this game so much. I should probably tell you guys, we're probably going to talk about spoilers a lot. I think this game has one of the best ways of playing New Game Pluses for you to analyze the story.
裏切り者
Uragirimono.
サクコどこ行くの？こっち通るの珍しいね。
Sakuko is actually my favorite character in
車が
the
道を塞いでてさ
千鶴や
the fox god
今は
or the
誰か
fox
と喋
demon
ってて
is scared of Sakuko.
私も後から
He
行く
sees her
ね。
as a threat.
じゃあね
裏切り者
What is up with the quality? So strange. $60. Oh. 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 Oh, okay. I thought. Oh, it's all very high. Ew. Okay. Uragimono. Name Suzutani Mayumi. Mayumi is so interesting as a character because you don't really see her, but like there's so many things about her in the game. She's one of the girls that got whisked away by the fox. So there's a saying, right, in Japan, or I think it was in that area, when girls get whisked away by the fox, it's kind of like it's a saying that when girls run away, or what people really don't want to say is it's when girls get kidnapped and possibly killed or worse. And they will say, well, the girl was whisked away by the fox. That's the saying that goes there. Very interesting saying. Like if a girl disappears out of nowhere, people will say, oh, she was whisked away by the fox. Hey, Alexandra, right? Hey, Alexandra.
破られてる
Oh, the graphics just died a little bit. I may have messed it up. I need to stop messing up with things. It was just fine. Oh, it is kind of choppy, isn't it? What just happened? Huh? Same, Kumiko. Yeah, Kumiko, same. Okay.
シュウだ
Oh, that's Shu, her childhood friend, who is actually in love with her. Thank you, Lulu. Have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out.
よ相棒
Aibo.
シュウ
Aibo. So he calls her his partner. His Aibo.
あのさ
Mm-hmm. What you gotta say?
なん
こそなんか言うこと
Don't you guys feel like the dialogue is weird? So basically, like,
相棒にないんだったら私にだって
I'm not gonna spoil it. This is big spoiler, so I don't wanna do big spoilers.
お前
So Inari is a goddess that represents fertility and success that was often played in order to keep the astral blessing during harvest seasons and weddings. But Inari
君の生き方
is a
なんて
deity
お前
related
ら
to
しくないぜ
foxes and kitsunes. Yes, fox
お前が
kamis
自分で選んだ
or
道なら
spirits, if Mia is mistaken, are tricksters at heart.
俺はいつ
Yes.
までも
So
応援する
Inari, exactly. So my theory is the idea of the fox deity they use in the wedding is to give this idea of a tricky marriage. You're absolutely right. Let me tell you something. Actually, wait. Let's just see this through.
リンコ
I'll tell you after this.
何の話をしてたの
It's something that relates to this that is also explained in the game.
いや大した話は
誰かとおしゃべりしたい気持ちだったんだって
気が紛れたよ
それはよかったお役に立てて光栄の極み会えると分かってたら借りてた雑誌持ってくればよかった
ああ貸したままでいいよインコに貸した時点で戻ってくると思ってないし
んだとこんちくしょう笑いすぎだよ
You find it very funny
何か借りてるんじゃな
how
いの私なんかあったかなねえひなこじゃあ私が借りてる500円も返さなくていいよねさくこ利子つけて返すとか言ってなかった言ってないよ証文あんなら出してみろいいこと聞いたこれからはさくこに
Like, how do I say it? The way the fog targets one person immediately off the bat is for a specific reason, by the way. Yeah, it does. That not everything is. Well, the fog actually comes from her mind. Her mind is so foggy. She can't tell what's hers and what's like. Oh. So basically, there's a lot of like how do I say this? Conspiracies and stuff surrounding. Like this part confuses me because it's like not one fog chasing her. It's like coming all around her. Once we get to the fox area, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh. Am I going the right way? I hope I am. I haven't played in a while, so I don't remember which way I'm supposed to go. This part didn't make sense to me at all. Like, why would her sister help her and also help the other her? You know? You have to see it from... So there's like the pills that Hinako takes. They're made up of the white dahlia, but in Japan here, It's called Kakura Makakura, I think that's what it's called. And Shu's family grows it in their backyard. White Dahlia in Silent Hill, the town, actually
痛い
is the reason the town has a drug problem and people
週
hallucinate
にもらっ
things.
ててよかった
Basically, it's a psychedelic.
相棒
Um,
の言う通りだな
it's not like a.
これで戦える
Okay. X. Y.
早く手当てしなきゃここどこ
It's not
急いで
like
咲子のとこに戻らないと
it's not like what they think it is. They like in Japan, they say that the kakura makakura makes you look within yourself and meet the inner you and the inner you and the inner you. So like you keep meeting infinite yous until you learn your lesson from the inner yous, basically. Which is so interesting, right? I need to get rid of the capsules so that we don't accidentally use them. Increase max health, max sanity, and stamina. What does this do? When using restorative item, no. Enhances effects of items and memories that restore sanity. Slightly restores health after defeating enemy. Yeah, like this. So, so the monsters. Okay, so this is really like funny, right? Think of the hydrate, Sunny. The monsters that you see here, they all have the spider lily, right? These are the monsters basically sent by the fox god. And the monsters in the other world are monsters sent by the tree god, by the water dragon.
誰
You will see that like the monsters in the other world have a mossy and tree-like features. They have like these like land features, you know. And the monsters by the spider lily here do carry like the signs of the fox god. What I think it is,
リンコ
it's how the two Hinakos are fighting to stop each other. Like one Hinako who wants to get married to the fox god and wants to forget her life and force herself to love the guy that she's marrying, the guy who she's marrying is like possessed by a fox. It's like there's so many like aspects to look at in this game. You could look at it from a spiritual. Ooh. That's heavy attack. Okay, it was a little bit scary. And basically, she's having an inner battle between what she wants and what she thinks she wants. And then it becomes a split personality thing where the inner her wants. This is the inner her right now, who wants to not forget about, you know, where she grew up and her childhood and all these things. And there's a part of her who wants to let go of all that shit and just move on, and go find a better life with the Fox family. Oh my God, that scared me, Sevatar. That kind of scared me. Hey, Sevatar. And ew, why is it this? Oh. Am I doing it wrong? How do you say? So thank you, Sunny. So it's a lot of like inner fighting within herself, and little does she know this whole time, this is a war between two gods that are trying to like control this whole land, this whole land. Ibisu, I don't know how to say the name of the place, but I think it means quiet mountain or something like that. So it already meant Silent Hill to begin with. It's crazy. Ooh, bitch. I forgot how to parry. There we go. I remembered. I remembered. Huh. You're no match for me because I remembered. Yeah, so... Yeah, basically... This place has had so many gods pass through it, basically, and be worshipped by it, you know? The people here change faith so fast that... that, like... They would, like, sacrifice so much for the new god, like, immediately. Household tips for the good wife and a wise mother. A collection of loving ways for mothers to create the perfect home. Ooh. The key is upstairs. They're basically warring and they're using Hinako as their vessel. Because Hinako has been consuming the white dahlia this whole time. She doesn't even know it. And the white dahlia, or the makakura, is a plant that is like a gateway to like psychedelic stuff in the spiritual world. Some people used it to gain access to the spiritual world, kind of thing. And lo and behold, our girl Hinako has a friend who's in love with her so much that he decides that, you know, he'll take it upon himself to help her with her headaches and her trauma by giving her white dahlia. And because of him, Hinako is mentally fragile, spiritually weakened, and struggling with a lot of things. I can't go outside. I don't like this. Hey. That's so evil because I knew she was there. Like... That was messed up. That was unnecessary. So unnecessary, by the way. And messed up. Cause like, what do you mean? That's so messed up. And what for? Ooh, look at this. This is how she describes people. Her mom, herself, her friend Sakuko. Sakuko actually poses like a threat to the fox god. And he took her out first for a reason. There's a reason that Sakuko dies first. Sakuko comes from a family who are shamans, like, and they looked after the what was it called? The great trees. I think it wasn't the water dragon, was it? It was the great tree. So there was like this story of like water dragon terrorizing this town, and the god that saved everyone was the tree the tree god, or the tree spirit. And Sakuko's family have the shrine to that tree spirit. And basically she was supposed to be a maiden for that, but her grandfather became an atheist. And her grandfather said that they should stop worshiping them and stuff like that. And guess what happened to her grandfather? He started getting sick in ways that were unexplainable. Like he had caterpillars coming out of his eyes, and like he would cough up bugs every day and like until he died. So anyone who questions the faith of like just kill me. Okay. It is, yeah. That was his punishment for disgracing the tree god.
まずいな。
The tree god that once protected these people from the water gazers and the water dragon, basically. It was said that the water dragon was killing people. Yeah. And the fox god was worse because the fox god, basically, explain it like this is what I wanted to explain to Cotton. Yeah. So Inari Sama is actually a goddess, the fox goddess, right? She was a benevolent goddess of fertility and a lot of things that Cotton mentioned. That's true. But then there was a kitsune trickster, right? And this kitsune trickster basically lied and called himself the lied to people and made them worship him instead. And instead of worshiping Inari, the people started worshiping that kitsune, and made that kitsune a god. Or else they would not be worshiping that kitsune. Right now they think they're worshiping Inari-sama, but they're not. They're actually worshiping the kitsune, which is not the god. Like the kitsune is genuinely like a fake, a fraud.
変な箱。あ、開いた。
Oh, I should sell those antique combs. And so that family took upon, I think what they did was they like dethroned the real fox goddess. I think so. That's what they did. And basically became the new Inari god. I think that's how it goes. Because in the files it also explains that like before these Kitsune family, like these Inari, this Inari family, before they were a thing, there was a goddess before them, like that they worked for, or like they were worshipped, something like that, and then they like stole the identity of that goddess.
リンコ。
I always use knives because they do the most damage in the game. Which is funny, the kitchen knives do the most damage in the game. Jump. Jump. I thought so. And you'll see that, like, there's that doll, right, that we see often. There's a doll from Hinako's past that we see a lot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that's how you dodge? I was like, how do you dodge? I forgot. Oh, yeah. Oh. Scary shit. Oh, where is that one that greatly? Where's the one that restores durability? There's one that restores durability when you're like not using the weapon. Slightly restores current. No. Yes, the doll. The doll is actually sent. The doll is actually like the fucking tree god itself. Can you imagine that? It's actually the tree god.
もうじき壊れるな。
Basically, it's a medium. It's how the tree god was, the tree spirit or the tree god is able to communicate with Hinako. But I like that's what I said, because like when you play as Fox. Oh.
シュウどこにいる
When you play as Fox Hinako, Fox transformed Hinako, basically. Fox Hinako is being stopped by the doll, and the doll keeps sending monsters that look like that. Oh, sorry, monsters that look like the other kind, not like these. These look different. These monsters look way different than the ones that is sent by. Welcome back, Willow. Don't know if I'm going the right way. So I definitely strongly think Fox God is sending the monsters that we see right now, and Tree God is sending the other type of monsters that we see. 100%.
ちょうどいい。
That has to be the case. And Sakuko is connected to the tree god. That's why the fox god took her out first. Because she has high spiritual powers. One time, Sakuko has a file, right, in her diary, where she was possessed by both at the same time. One god was telling her to let go of the other god, and she didn't listen to the fox. She listened to the tree god, and I think this was her punishment. Mind you, they're not high school people right now. They're actually in their 20s, and this is Hinako getting married right now to a guy from the Inari family, a guy that she saved, Kotoyuki. She saved a guy who got bit by a fox when they were kids. His name is Kotoyuki. And when that guy got bit by the fox, he became possessed by the fox. He became possessed by the fox god. And the fox god basically was infatuated by Hinako. And he wanted her so bad. So he learned like everything to be with Hinako. So the guy that we see that helps Hinako, it is Kotoyuki, but he's also possessed by the fox god.
堅苦しい神社じゃなくて駄菓子屋の娘に生まれたかったってここならいつでも好きなだけ
Yep.
お菓子が食べられるよ
Like the way when you find this out for the first time, it's so shocking.
咲子
There's a lot of so like Sakuko, for example, was supposed to be a shrine maiden. But her shrine got shut down basically, but she's the only one who kept it like alive. She badly wanted to resurrect the shrine.
今日はもう閉店だよ。咲子、私やっぱり咲子との約束守りたいよ。
Bring it, bitch. Yup. We are not happy. Oh no, we got an ad coming soon. No. Ooh, this is where we get to see the other world, basically. So this is the Fox world, I guess. And this is the other Hinako. This is the Hinako that wants to get married to the Fox dude and join the Fox family. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is a wedding venue, basically. These are offerings for a wedding. You can see all the Fox stuff. It's a temple dedicated to the Fox god or the Fox family itself. They basically say that the what are they called? Are they called the Inari family? Or they're called? There's a family. They're a family. Like Kotoyuki's family is called something. They're a family of like the Fox family. That's what they call them. Basically, they strive on people's misfortunes. That's how they make their money. That's how like everything. So they love it when people go through misfortune because that's how they get their money. They're very weird as a family, like very strange family, honestly. Kudzu, respected by all, and a leader of the people, was wed to Pine. Okay, this is the puzzle, basically. Okay, I forgot to read. Can I read it, please? Oh, guys, we have a ad break in a second. Kudzu, respected by all and a leader of the people, was wed to Pine. Plum, loved by all and always at the center of any group, was wed to Bamboo. So Plum, which one is Plum? Is this a plum? Is this a plum? How do you know what a plum is? What's a plum? That's a fish. Okay, ad starting now. What does a plum looks like, you guys? That's a bamboo, I think. Right? That's not a plum. Is this a plum? What would a plum look like? That's so disgusting, by the way. Look at that. That's annoying. I think this is a plum. I think this flower is a plum. And then what did it say? Who had no mates spent their days studying under Kutsu and becoming known as the Sage of the East. Kutsu is, if I remember, is this? No. No. What are you? These are is this kudzu leaves, maybe? Is that plum? Wait, this is bamboo, actually. That one's bamboo. What is bamboo? Was wed to bamboo. No, that makes no sense. What's a chrysanthemum? Chrysanthemum. Who had, what is that? Chrysanthemum? Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum? Chrysanthemum. It's a flower, right? Yeah, yeah, but what does it look like? It's like a plant or leaves. Oh, so it's the rat who had no mate, spent their days studying under Kutsu and becoming known as the Sage of the East. So it should be here. But which one is Kutsu? Is this Kutsu? Are you Kutsu? You look like a Kutsu. Could this be? No. It's like a plant or leaves. Kutsu? Or... Hi, Sakura. Kutsu? Sage of the East. What is this? Oh. Is that not a plum? Was it a sakura? Could this be kudzu? Kimono? No, but I think they're telling you to look at the plants. So this one has like a sakura, right? So what would a sakura be described as here? Is it chrysanthemum? Chrysanthemum? Hey. Plum, loved by all, was always at the center of the group, was wed to bamboo. Kudzu, respected by all, and the leader of the people, was wed to pine. What's a pine? Is this a pine? Does not look like a pine. Is this a pine? Flower? Pine flower? What does a pine look like? You think the sakura could be a pine? Kutsu, respected by all, and the leader of the people, was wed to pine. Now who the fuck is pine? Like Chris Pine? The one, I don't know. It's a weird looking plant. I'll tell you that. Oh, sorry. That is. Bamboo, I think. That's bamboo. And it says here, Plum, loved by all and always at the center of any group, was wed to bamboo. Oh my god, I'm so sleepy, you guys. Oh. Ooh. Kimono in the middle, you think? In Aztec, also known as the daisy family. So it's a daisy flower. Autumn, longevity, and joy, and their official November birth flower. Pretty sure this is the Corsarium or whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure that is what it is. Hey, homie. Hi, Pookie. Hi. Who had no mate, spent their days under kudzu studying. Nice one, Sonny. I think that's... And you were right, Kiran. Kimono was in the middle. You're right. My wedding better be dramatic like this. I'm so sorry. If I don't get kidnapped by a fox god or something on my wedding, I don't want it. I also really like this era of new survival girlies, right? We get Hinako and Grace Ashcroft, like, yeah. Oh? Think of the hydrate, Kumiko. Well, can you run? Ohio. The way he said that. Ohio. Mm-hmm. He's just flirting with her. I find him to be such an interesting character. So this is Kotoyuki. He has been basically sending her letters since... Okay, so Kotoyuki is a guy who used to play with her when they were kids. His mom was a maid. His mom? Okay, hear this. His mom was a maid who had an affair with the head of the clan. And when the head of the clan died, after he got married or whatever, Kotoyuki was supposed to be the new head of the clan as a kid, basically. And because of him having strong ties to the fox, he already had this affinity, right? His mom moved into Ebisuka Gaoka, where Hinako lives, and they used to play together as kids. He gets bit by a fox as a kid, and Hinako saves his life. And she also, I think, saves the fox from getting beat up by people. And then Kotoyuki and her start exchanging letters. Kotoyuki falls in love with her, and scary thing. This is very scary. The doctor who checked out Kotoyuki asked him, "Your name is Kotoyuki, right?" Oh yeah, he was like, "Kotoyuki, right?" And then Kotoyuki replies with, "Oh, so that's my name." And it's like a sign that Kotoyuki is actually possessed by the fox god. So right now, Kotoyuki thinks he loves Hinako to death. He's been sending her letters for like 20 years or something, you know, like becoming rich, being the head of the clan, like doing all these things because he loves her. He's madly in love with her. He doesn't even know why. He's just madly in love with her. The part of him that's madly in love with Hinako is
この人に
actually
ついていこう
the fox god. It's not even him. It's the fox possession that he has. Fox possession is sort of like a curse that exists. And he is fox possessed, basically. Yep. They're basically getting married right now. And she is like basically getting initiated into this family, becoming a what are they called? Kane and something. The family is called something. Kaiken, a beautiful dagger used for ceremonial purposes. The blade has been intentionally dulled so it doesn't make the best weapon. However, it does seem surprisingly durable. The Inari statue is laughing. Creepy. It is. Because this is not the real, like, fox Inari. This is like a kitsune fox that has tricked its way into making everyone think that it's the Inari god, but it's not really.
向こう側から鍵がかかってるみたい
Straight thing is that he purposely lets her go through these things so that she can
何の神社
shed her old persona, kinda. He wants to get rid of the old Hinako, the one that's holding on to her friends, her family, who she really is. And these foxes are like the family, if you think about it. They're the fox family. That's how she sees them, I think. As like statues.
君のために鍵を用意した。案内しよう。
I didn't. I woke up in the morning. I'm trying to stay up a little because my manager has his return stream tonight. Last night and tonight, and I missed it last night. I don't want to miss it tonight, and I want to raid, and you know, we can all go support him. He's having a great comeback, and he has a lot of giveaways and like stuff. I don't know about giveaways, but I think he has a lot of like merch and stuff. He could have a giveaway too. I'm not sure. Ooh, some scary shit happening. See, I don't remember them sharing the same like healing items. That's very strange. Hi, honey. She just woke up.
じゃあお前がなんかこれに似た絵を見かけたような
We have to look around for the puzzle solution. As I pass into the world of the dead, I pray only that I do not pass through the gates of hell. Please hear my prayer. So yeah, also when visiting this world, everyone sees it different. There was a girl named Mayumi. She was the one who was like basically fox. What do you call it? Fox what?
なんでここに
Whisked by the fox the first time before Hinako. She was just like Hinako. To those corrupted souls who dare encroach upon our sacred land, may you be met with calamity and destruction. The yokai of the carriage had their heads removed. The yokai of the umbrella their arms, and the yokai of the kettle their legs. Only the losses of each shall purify this corruption. This doll is the tree god or whatever. These monsters are sent by the tree god to try and stop Hinako. I think, at least. Pull out your weapon? No? You don't wanna? Come on, bitch. You think I haven't played this game before? Okay, he's down for a bit. So we gotta run. The way she runs. She's running. If you don't make sounds, he doesn't, like, find you. I think. I forgot what the puzzle said. Had their heads removed. Heads removed. The first one. Yeah. He is indeed. The first puzzle spoke about heads being removed. I can swear it's the tree. The yokai of the carriage had their heads removed, the yokai of the umbrella their arms, the yokai of the kettle their legs. Right, what's a yokai again? Hey, Cotton. Oh, yokai are spirits. Okay, so the yokai of the carriage had their... Oh, there we go. Was the yokai of the carriage, no?
多分これだ。他の絵も探さないと。
Okay, there's more. And then the yokai of the... Is it this one? Why is it the only one that's not like... Ah, greatly decreases the damage taken while dodging. Cute. Cute. Hey, Beefcake. Hi, hi. These are the vast gods of supernatural entities, monsters in Japanese folklore, ranging from mischievous tricksters to shapeshifters. See, the interesting thing about the game, which I really liked the most, right? I really liked the most. I really liked that you can interpret the story in so many different ways. To whomever happens to read this note, it becomes so easy if you just stop and give up. After all, you're already among the dead. There's a lot of like ways you can interpret what's going on. I think, right, and this is my my favorite thing, is that the two gods are using Hinako as a way to fight this war, basically, with each other. Because she has this like the veil between the spirit world and the physical world for her is like really thin from the pills she's been taking, thanks to Shu. The yokai of the umbrella and the yokai of the kettle. Yokai of the umbrella, you say? Like, Shu is the main villain of the fucking game. Ayo, he's coming. What? Oh my god. Stop. He's deaf and I'm not moving, so... How does he know that I'm here? Weird ass. Weirdo, weirdo, weirdo. Where is that yokai? Ooh, the anxiety. Pretty sure it's this one. Pretty sure it's this one over here. Where is it? This one. I see no one. Yep. I know it. Hey, Fawn. Welcome back. Is he coming here? Please no. Pretty hot and tempting. Gotcha. Am I looking fat? Fat. PHAT. Pretty hot and tempting. Gotcha. And then the last one is the yokai of what? Oh. We got the yokai of the kettle. Now we need the yokai of the umbrella. The umbrella. Ella, Ella, eh. Mom, Dad, I don't think I'll make it home. I just wish I could see you one last time, Mayumi. Oh, by the way, in this world, you see all differently. Everyone sees it differently. I think Mayumi saw it as hell, and other girls saw it as heaven. It changes per person, depending on, I guess, their situation. Where is he? Not funny. Where is he? Oh, the way you can see behind. What is this? Babes, that's cheating, babes. Oh, he's coming here. Oh. 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 Right. Right. Oh, he saw me? He did. Is he dead? Okay, for a bit. What was the last one left? Kettle and what? Like, please. Is it this one? Yokai of the umbrella. I don't see a fucking umbrella. Ella, 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 eh. Ooh. Stay dead. Umbrella. It's okay, Cotton. Yeah, don't worry about it, Cotton. I won't be staying for long anyway. I think probably like for 1 more hour, and then I'm going. So don't worry about it. And also any of you guys, please. Tonight's stream is like just chilling, you know, chilling and vibing. That's so weird. The yokai of the carriage, the yokai of the umbrella. Who the fuck is that? I ain't never heard of a yokai of umbrella. I've never seen one before either. Just pretty new. Look at my face. Huh? 360 what? What are you saying, Tyler? Oh, he knows. He's like, I know where you are. I can smell you. Let me clear my mind from sanity. I need to start wearing glasses. Because of all the insane shit I keep seeing. Oh. Oh, you must not know about me. Okay. He's down momentarily. It's here somewhere, y'all, but I just don't know where. I know it's not one of these, because we already did these. I put it on the hardest difficulty, by the way. The most hardest difficulty. Is that an umbrella, or am I, like, crazy? Isn't that an umbrella? It is, bitch. Bitch, that was an umbrella. I knew it. On Lost in the Fog is like so hard. Hey Pengi, thank you so much for the follow. I don't know why the alert didn't come on. But thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome in. Hope you're having a lovely day, night, evening, time zone. Welcome in. You know, one thing I also found interesting about this place is how the other Hinako, when she comes here, she's like, what the hell is this? Because the Hinako here is like so chill about it. And she's like, you know, just let me follow my new husband or whatever. The other Hinako's like, excuse me? What is this? I found you on Twitter and I think your model looks great. So I have to follow. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh, that makes my day. Oh, I was spiraling today about like being shadow banned. But I'm so glad that you found me. Ah. Insert Zion yelling emoji. Which way do I go? Oh yeah, okay, I'm going the right way. Yeah, I got shadow banned on TikTok, I think. A lot of people are experiencing this. Now, how the hell am I supposed to know which one it is? Only the losses of each shall purify this corruption. Now, how will I know this? Oh, you haven't? I got suspended off the bus for 3 days. What did you do? Yeah, TikTok is weird. The yokai of the carriage had their heads removed. Okay, I get that part, but only the losses of each shall purify this corruption. What does that mean? So maybe it's a symbol that doesn't repeat. And I think I see it, but I'm not sure. I will like to wager and bet. Oops. Why would you say that to the bus driver? That you'd want to kill them? That's a little crazy. I personally would never say that to the person that's driving me home. Yeah, I get why they suspended you too. Wouldn't you like get like, oh, diva? I got anger issues. It's my fault. I said that. You said? You have to be like, so like, I kind of have anger issues as well, right? I mean, not like issues like to that extent. I would just not say something like that. I don't know. I feel like I'd get angry, but like, exactly. So even if you are someone who has anger issues, that doesn't really excuse saying that you want to, like, oh, I think it's the ones that don't are not there, are not in the book. I think. So the ones that don't show up here. That's okay. But still, it does not like shit, it's wrong. It doesn't mean that you can, like, go around saying stuff like that, because it's wrong. Why is that wrong? What is this? I'm about to lose my mind. Exactly. Do not, if you start using your mental health as a crutch, it will become a habit, and not a good one, because you are gonna like excuse yourself for doing a lot of things that are not okay to you and to others, and no one is going to take your mental health seriously at all, because they see you using it as a crutch to be a victim. So don't, as much as you can, try not to use it as an excuse when you make mistakes, however, if you can, like, explain that the reason you acted that way was because you struggle with this thing, but can admit like that it's a wrong thing and you're trying to do better about it, or like actually like attempt to do something good about it, right? That's different, because doing something about it is the way to go for sure. You can't let these things become a constant in your life. It's just gonna affect you like forever, or like, and it's gonna be harder to heal from these things or change them, because you've gotten so used to using them as a crutch to get by, and like excuse yourself from a lot of issues. The fuck? Why is he coming here? Yeah, exactly. Exactly what the diva said. Thank you for the hydrate, diva. Diva. Pingy. I hope I'm saying your name right. And Yunji, hi, how are you, Yunji? How are you? Thank you for the daily wish. Okay, okay. I'm so sleepy, Fawn. I don't get this. To those corrupted souls who dare encroach upon our sacred land, may you be met with calamity and destruction. The yokai of the carriage had their heads removed, the yokai of the umbrella their arms, and the yokai of the kettle their legs. One of the losses of each shall purify one of this corruption. Maybe something that looks like a head, something that looks like a arm, and something that looks like legs. Well, honestly, none of these shits look like arms, legs, or heads. Yeah, I will. I will sleep immediately as soon as I make sure that that I'm rating my manager first, because I want to make sure that he gets all the love and support that he deserves. Then, Thank you. Strange. Strange things have happened here, and stranger would it be.
なんか違うな。
Ooh. It is very late. Morning late. Oh my god. He's inching closer. It's Ramadan, so it's the last 2 days of Ramadan. I'm very sad. We're gonna go back to our normal scheduled programming and wake up in the morning and go to work and shit. Ew. No vaping is actually going really well, by the way. I don't know. It's actually going really well. I'm shocked. I do get like an itch to like eat desserts. But it's going really well. Oh shit. It's like I feel like it really is all mental. Like even the cravings are kind of gone. Like it's like I keep thinking about the cravings and I'm like, why are they not there? I used to like oh I was obsessed with my vape. But when the only way I quit it was basically when I got my septoplasty. Um, which is really hard because I did it with the surgery. I mean, it was really easy with the surgery, honestly. The surgery definitely helped me quit like better. Four hands? Yeah. So is here. Wait, but it's not that late for you, is it, Kumiko? Isn't it like 11 right now for you? Almost 12? Me saying it's not that late because for me, like, late is like 5 a.m. Oh, for you and Kumiko, it's like 11 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know why I don't consider that late for me. I don't know why. But I mean, it is late for you because you have school tomorrow, don't you, Kumiko? It's 10:40 for me. I'm all alone. Yeah, I'm like you, Fawn. Late for me is like 4 a.m. I even like get happy when it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh my god, there's so much more time. Okay, we're gonna go on ad break. I'm gonna get some food and I'll be right back. Okay, we'll go back to just chatting because I am getting tired and I didn't want to sleep on stream. Exactly. So I'll be right back. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Hey. Hello. Hello. I come here with 2 tiny sandwiches for my sahur. 2 tiny sandwiches. I missed you too. Pretty hot and tempting. Gotcha. PHAT. Pretty hot and tempting. Gotcha. Pretty hot and tempting. Oh my god. Oh, it feels like I'm hungry. Feels like I'm hungry. I mean, I am hungry. Did you guys see the new like NVIDIA DLSS 5 or whatever? Where it just turns people with like AI. It just turns people into like it turns like game characters into like AI generated like characters, and it looks so ugly. Just this, it's so sad to see how far and like how stupid Capcom is. I keep getting ads for the whole stories. That'd be hella good if done by actual artists. Exactly! What really sucks is, hey Ali, what really sucks is like, we don't want that. Like, these are video games. We're not asking for realism in video games. It's a video game. It's meant to like not look real. Like, pretty hot and tempting. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're getting raided. Oh my god. Oh my god, Lawler, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Hi everyone. My name is Zayan Al Jin. I am a Jin E that ate 2 Jin E's. Swallowed 2 of them actually. We're just having some sahur and chilling a bit. Thank you guys so much for the raid. Hope you guys had a lovely stream. What'd you guys play? Hey Foxy. And hi, Kami. Hello, hello. Welcome back. How are you guys? Ooh, where is my Twitch? Stream was great. Play some Overwatch Stadium followed by checking out the Trick Shop and DVD. Ooh, DVD player. I was also playing Overwatch before I streamed. Are you enjoying the new season of Overwatch? I've been pretty chill today. I've been behaving. Yeah, what do you want me to do? Play Marvel Rivals? I agree. I was playing with my old-time friends. Some ranked. It was fun. Ew, no, see? Playing Overwatch is better. It's not like I'm fully dedicated to the game, but... yeah. I played Marvel Rivals. I was a Wanda main. I got to Plat 1, I think. And then I stopped playing. No, Diamond. I was Diamond. And I think I was Diamond, yeah. I was a Wanda main. Well, what do you think inspired my look? It was 100% Scarlet Witch. That was my inspo. What the hell? You're so funny, Dia. Please don't become Marvel Rivals incel. Ew, never. Never that. Thank you so much, Lawler. Thank you. Thank you. You should actually. Also, Lawler, if you need to go and rest, please do so. Get some rest, sleep well. Sorry, I'm eating. Just finished my meal. Sorry. Rest well, Fox. I know it's late for you guys in East Asia, right? You know, you kind of give Idea Shroud from Twisted Wonderland, but red and black in Arabic. Who is that? Idea Shroud. Idea reminds me of Flynn's from Genshin. Oh, that's an insult that I have. Oh my god. Malaysia, right? Not to toot my own horn, but there is a difference for sure in looks and in presentation, teeth, dental work. Oh, there is? What is Twisted Wonderlands anyway? Is it like what do you call it? What's the word? What do we call it? Visual novel? Is Otome a visual novel? Ooh, I see. I see. Mm-mm-mm-mm. May I ask, is it like dramatical murder, like that? It's an RPG kinda, but the characters are Otome Disney villains. Oh, oh, so Idea Shroud is based on Hades. Hades from Hercules. Am I right? Or yeah, I could see the resemblance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could see the resemblance for sure. Of course, it's Jaffa, right? Oh, Jamil? Jamil. And there's Zoff as well. Oh, wow, they do look good. The Arab characters do look good. Absolutely. By the way, the movie night, question mark? Yeah? What's up with the movie night? The movie night? Yeah? What happened to it? It's tomorrow. What do you mean what happened to it? Wednesday. Jamil and Kareem? Ali coming in here. The movie night? Question mark? It's tomorrow. Oh, hey, Hanson. And one is based off Scar from Lion King, Leona. Interesting. Yeah, Ali, are you okay? Ali really said, oh, the movie night? Question mark? Where's the movie night? Huh. Movie night? Hey, Hanson. This is how Hanson tells us he's here, by the way. Hanson. Handsome. Hans Capon. I'm Hans Capon of Perkenstein. Why is my... Well, actually, his name is Hanson. Actually. You should take over Hanson's job. Bomb at everyone. Crazy. Crazy. These are trigger words for me, okay? I won't go. Popped in to Booba reveal and snooze. I am going to snooze soon. Hanson, stay for the raid at least. Stay for the raid. Ow. I am what I am. I'll do what I want. Oh, I need to see To Catch a Predator now. Is that what helps you sleep at night? Good show, for sure. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Oh, you mean Chris Hansen? No, this is another Hansen. Basically, because his name is Hansen, and the host of To Catch a Predator, his name is Chris Hansen. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's crazy. Just crazy. Dead again? Who's dead again? Why did that get, oh, what the fuck? How did that get automated? Where are we living? I know, I was shocked too. What the hell was that? What's that for? I know. Literally your Automod's favorite. The moment Automod sees you, it's going down, baby. Oh. Ow. You guys, I got a pimple. And it hurts. Ah. It's all because of that fucking barber shop. Ooh. Let's see. I have a spot treatment that I can do. But you seem cool enough. Oh, I love the song so much. I don't care where you're going. Taking me with you. Ah. Finally. Oh. Pain. The little Jaffar's hiding in the corner. Lil Jaffar's. Oh. Me when I start rapping. Lil Jaffar's. Lil Jaffar's, baby. Lil Jaffar's. I would love to leave you guys soon and go to sleep. Oh, draw that now? A little crazy, by the way. Like the way I'm like gonna like fall face first on this laptop, on this keyboard and like sleep. Just die right here and now. What's your PFP? Oh, it's you, right? You. Bum bum. Bum bum. Is it Friday today? What day is today? Is it Friday? Is today Friday? A lot of people are live today. It's Wednesday? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday for me. It's Wednesday for who? It's oh yeah, it's kind of like Wednesday. Yeah, it is Wednesday basically, Wednesday morning. But I have to say, a lot of people are live today. Wednesday now, yeah, yeah, it is Wednesday. I think I'll take Wednesday, this day out of my schedule. So for like starting next week, right? Basically, Eid is over, right? So we're gonna start with a new stream schedule. I kind of forgot to change the timings, but actually, we're supposed to start 2 hours early. So I said I'll do 3 days a week, right? And we'll probably like hang out on Discord one night a week. That'll be great. We can watch something, hang out, whatever. Oh, fun. I forgot to show you. Okay, I'm gonna post it in the gin section if you guys have if you guys are subbed. We have so many great ideas for a Donathon on April. And they're so much fun. I've like Nova showed us like some really cool ideas that I want to show you guys as well. Very interesting ideas. I really like them. Yeah, like shock collar and period cramp simulator. Yeah, a lot of nice things for sure. Yeah, for sure. Very excited to like try these things out for sure. I am. Right? Not the shock collar. I don't know. I've seen people do it, but I've never like watched someone like get shocked in front of me. So like I'd love to see what will happen to me. I have a low tolerance to pain. But I also like don't care, I guess. Nice one, Kami. Oh my god, join the Discord. Show us what it is like. What's like. Like I really have a low pain tolerance. Like I get hurt by like things really fast, right? And basically, even if I get hurt, it's not gonna like affect me. I don't know how to say it. Like, it will hurt, but it's not gonna like hurt me emotionally. You know, like it's not gonna be like that painful. You know what I mean? You're gonna need to make sure we can't use that high voltage. High voltage? What do you mean? Am I gonna get shocked? Like electricity? It's not gonna vibrate? It's not like a vibrating thing, it's like a shock. Tears? Oh my god. And then someone said that I should like do a like a masters thing where like I say like you're my master or whatever. And I said I only do that for $5,000. I'm not gonna call anyone my master. Sorry. Unless it's like $5,000, I'm not doing it. 5,000 or nothing. Oh my god. 5K when? When we get 5K. Only 5K? Bitch. Don't make me turn that up. Bet. Bye. Anyway. Show some love to my manager. He's having a comeback stream. Today's his main event. Yeah, he has a lot of stuff to like unbox. I think you guys might find this interesting. He has $10,000 worth of cards to unbox and figurines and like a lot of things that were sent to him to unbox, you know. Exactly, you guys can meet him basically. I mean, he's gonna see your names anyway, so he's probably gonna see, oh, who is more suitable for the community, you know? Or I don't know how he's gonna base it on, but like it's all on him. Yep. So all up to you guys. Give him a good first impression. Of course. You guys would not embarrass me in front of my manager, would you? Right? I love you guys so much. We still could not figure out a raid message, but we will one day. We will one day. So let's just go with this for now. Speedrunning this ban is crazy. Thank you for the hydrate, Willow. I love you guys. I'll be on Discord probably if I don't sleep. Knowing me though, I'm jumping right into that bed. Right into that bed. Timer starts now. I'm gonna ask him and be like, "Oh, what do you think of my community? Did you like them?" Bye guys. I love you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is we're having a movie night, okay? So we'll be on Discord. Okay? I'll see you guys on Discord tomorrow. Cuz after tomorrow is Eid, so I won't be able to hang out on stream, okay? I love you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.